Hello, welcome to Action Theater Presents 1983's Brainstorm. More along the lines of sci-fi, adventure, and action. This is one of my favorite sci-fi ones from the 80s. Uh, Not too well known, but Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood are excellent in it. And maybe you just might like it too. What do you think about it? Blue Teams?
Uh, this was a film that was a mainstay on cable when I know when I was younger, and as you know, has a bit of a tragic backstory because Natalie Wood passed away while the film was being made, and we're going to get a little bit into that, and so some things had to be changed when it came to the movie, but I don't think it really loses its impact at all. It's an interesting film. It's like Bill said, it's more sci-fi than action, even though there is some here and there. Um, Interesting film. It's very psychological as well. So, been quite some time since I've seen this, so I'm looking forward to revisiting this film. And without further ado, let's not waste any time doing it. I would, however, like to say hello to the chat.
Yeah.
Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Check Productions. It's Connie Clary.
Oh yeah. Maybe we should say something about we would really love to show you these here on YouTube, but
Yes.
we're restricted and we can't do that because copyright law, and the bylaws of YouTube. So we're not a major network studio who can pay for the rights and all that. Anyway. However, we do have a
We
link where you guys can follow along and view the film.
we did offer more cowbell. YouTube said it wasn't enough, so
Yeah.
unfortunately, you will have to follow us on Cosme if you're watching live or with your own physical copy. And I'm sure this movie is probably streaming somewhere. So
They're probably
you
free
can
on
also,
Tubi or Pluto TV.
yeah,
You know.
that's usually the case. Yeah. Um, but if you do have a physical copy of this film from back in the day, hey, let us know in the comments or let us know in the chat.
This is also a MGM film, so it might be, if you have Prime, it might be able to be able to watch on Prime. So maybe
Yeah.
look for it there too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, without further ado, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, I give you Brainstorm. Make sure that volume's turned up. And put on the English subtitles. For those that are here, maybe be hearing impaired. Hello, Josh Street. The acolyte must. What is it? No, 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 Josh Street. I could care less. Funny, man. Funny. So
Mhm.
we hear dialogue, and or what we're hearing dialogue is their technology that they're developing, like a computer image or something, graphic design.
Of course, Louise Fletcher. And the man of the hour, Christopher Walken. That's a wild concoction if I've ever heard. I'm sorry. We hired an idiot. You sick little monkey.
Hey, Taylor Swift, Greater Disney Star Wars MCU, welcome.
Yeah, you never go full walking.
Hey, Lady Mist, how you doing? Good to see you.
Emoji queen. BSMFD.
So outdated computer tech. I really like the aesthetics in this film. The like, he's a scientist and he doesn't drive a car; he drives a bike. He's got a really cool house in this. In hey, words and pictures. Good to see you, my friend.
Hello, words and pictures. Long time no see.
I
Good to
hope
see
I
you.
hope you're doing well.
Hey, they were just here. You know, you can't get rid of them. I came back home and there's a. Anyway.
Hells. Xanis Seal, welcome.
Hey, Jana
Hope
Seal,
your
good to see you.
afternoon's going well. It's tacky corporate art.
Got to put a railing around a railing.
This house has got an indoor pool. I always thought that was so cool.
And I'm Arthur, King of Britons.
Hey, Lester, the San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Lester.
Appreciate that, Lester. Those are really big go karts. Imagine a technology like this would have multiple applications to be used. Hey, Tim. It would certainly give a 4D movie experience. It's the Grand Canyon from an eagle's point of view. Rio de Janeiro.
Because, of course, it's the 80s.
Hey, Curtis. Appreciate appreciate that, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Curtis. To futurism, anticipating future science. And this is relevant to today's VR, 3D, and valid to future applications of brain chips. Yeah. This Flowers for Algernon sequel is weird.
She puts up a very good performance, though.
Yeah. So by all means, let's have some more pills and stomp to the office more. You say nothing.
Not that kind
Another
of
doctor.
You're surrounded by doctors. It's not the right kind.
Thank you, Tim. PT 1092 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cliff Robertson is underrated. Cliff Robertson actually got blacklisted for a while because he found out that his agent was like signing checks and putting Cliff Robertson's name on them. And Cliff Robertson testified against this guy in court. And even though he was in the right, somehow he was the one who kind of got in trouble in Hollywood. It was kind of a mess for a while. But
He's taking this footage and editing it like it's a movie. Oh yeah, that's gonna work really well. Just use tape.
bad cutaway. Yeah, well, this was was this PG-13? It has to be at least a PG-13.
No,
I don't know if they had
I don't think that PG-13
Did they have that yet?
In 1983. No.
Oh, okay.
It came much later, so this was
still PG then, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This was 1983 when it came out. It's not film. You can't look at it like film. It's
someone's been here.
Type.
Yeah, but that's what starts getting him suspicious is people people are clearly coming in at night and screwing around in the lab, and
I just can't imagine a device like this working because it deals with neurons and like how can your neurons see recorded images as if it was a film.
Hmm.
I've always been fascinated by this. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, words.
hey, Connie. Okay, turn it off now. Yeah. Everything is subconsciously bleeding through. If you think about it, this movie's kind of the missing link between Dreamscape and Inception.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think we could words and pictures. It's kind of like what she said. They're meddling with forces they know nothing about, and that they probably shouldn't be meddling with.
Tim in the chat says someone's head is going to explode soon. Stay tuned. That's all I can say. Because in a manner of speaking, yeah, that's going to start happening. Oh, nice.
Right? Brothers National Memorial.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was always fascinated by this house, the aesthetics. And now the wood, she's beautiful in this. It's really shame. He was his own guinea pig. Right there, that's the world's heaviest laptop.
Yeah.
Literally the world's heaviest laptop computer.
No tampering in God's domain. I can't say it like Peter Graves, but yeah.
This is a prequel to View to Kill. I know in some universes it could be considered that, yeah.
Speak with a few to kill. It's not that good. Well, Tim, they're doing something in this movie that we don't get in movies. Character development and backstory.
Yeah.
So are we still selling the house? We're getting to it. All right.
They can't foreclose on it.
We can't. Shit has to go completely wrong first. Okay.
Yeah.
Inception, the early years. Yeah, I said that earlier.
Somebody made a video that they should not have made a video of.
Yeah.
And so the tech kind of lobotomized the guy.
Oh, hello.
This is might have had an R rating. Yeah, words. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Hal. We expect the sort of shit from Gordy, don't you think?
Well, he's got cognitive, damn it, cognitive, damn it, what am I, what's the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
However,
Because there's a government agency secretly turning it into a weapon. It's a heck of a simulation. Is that her cigarette that's smoking, or is it the solder iron? This is a scary part of this film. Hello, Suzanne. It's weird that she would have the thought to do this. Now she's setting it to record. Hello, Ladron. Good to see you, my friend. We are viewing the 1983 sci-fi action film Brainstorm. This church is real. It's actually shape of a cross. Well, it sounds like good news, Ladron. Good to hear it, my friend.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
This guy is no good. This other guy, the albino with the white hair is up to no good. Purely evil intentions. What him and the other parties want to do with this tech. This R&D tech was developed for communication.
Mhm.
No, you don't. You're about to kill somebody. Oh shit! Sorry, spoilers. Oops, my bad.
Well, this is action theater after all, and I kind of gave it away a little bit earlier, so yeah.
I think this was the first movie I saw Christopher Walken. And then I found The Deer Hunter. Let's just say I like this one a lot more than The Deer Hunter. Oh, you giant prick. I wonder if any of these robots have a dunce hat. They're already incorporating into military helmets. Yeah, they're even mass producing the big portable laptops. It's got a toolbox. It's a fishing tackle box. My God, that's a massive home computer. You thinking about the same thing I was thinking about their Caddyshack sequel? Yeah. Well, he did develop the tech. Hey, Putin's cat.
But they do a little bit of both.
Oh shit. Yeah. Real bad.
This portion of the movie is brought to you by Ruffles Potato Chips and Budweiser Beer.
Yeah.
Now, this part of
A
the
new,
movie
a
was
new
not
ride at
scripted.
Disneyland.
You think?
He'll have severe PTSD for life.
Oh, whoopsie.
My parents had a Bronco too that was the same color as that Bronco.
Yeah. Uh, you're, you're, you're talking to me all wrong. You're not. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Well,
We used to call that they made a scene.
Yes. Back when the CIA was a little more obvious, and apparently every agent looked like Michael J. Pollard. Okay. Yeah, we got plans, see? Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing. Just another fella.
See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge the Whopper computer here to a game of global thermonuclear war.
Yeah. Damn it.
The robots are going crazy.
Zoinks.
The machines are revolting.
This is Terminator 1-2. This is Skynet origin story. No.
Yeah.
That is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde playing in the background. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I got a
No
water
human
pistol.
being is going to tell me to hold it. You know.
Foam is water activated. Yeah. Boy, the droids, they're going crazy.
Somebody get me the Sarge. Oh, sorry, wrong movie.
I'm gonna go.
I think we're gonna need a lot of dunce hats for these robots. Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark, what's wrong with your robots?
Right about now, the Reliant about to fire on the Enterprise.
That guy's got a really bad hairpiece. How'd you get your hairpiece to stay on?
Yeah, we're gonna pay for that.
Yes, these computers were dial-up computers. So yes, you could use any phone line, and there was stuff payphones for good. Boy, that's tough. Yeah. Hello, JPRPH1. Yeah, yeah. Words. I've always enjoyed this film. Certainly another '80s film that had imagery of heaven, whatever that was. So that was Brainstorm. See there, the scenes.
Shall I consult the scrolls?
Consult the scrolls.
All right. Brainstorm was released in theaters September 30th, 1983.
Wow.
Filming locations included Riverside International Raceway, 22255 Eucalyptus Avenue, Moreno Valley, California. Duke University Chapel, 401 Chapel Drive, Duke University, Durham, North Carolina, for Lillian's funeral. The Pinehurst Hotel and Country Club, 80 Carolina Vista, Pinehurst in North Carolina. The Research Triangle Park, North Carolina. Burroughs Wellcome Pharmaceutical Corporation HQ. Wright Brothers National Monument, Route 158, Level Hills, North Carolina. Other locations included San Francisco, Outer Banks and Pinehurst, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Duke University. Okay. On to the trivia. Natalie Wood died before filming was complete, thus the ending had to be constructed from scenes shot earlier. Film is dedicated to her memory. When Natalie Wood died near the end of principal photography, studio executives tried to kill the film and claimed the insurance, saying that director Douglas Trumbull did not complete the film. However, Trumbull's contract gave that decision to him, and he insisted on completing it, using a stand-in and changing camera angles for the few remaining shots of Wood's character. The resulting hostility between Trumbull and the studio executives meant that this would be Trumbull's last Hollywood film. He has since devoted his efforts to effects work for IMAX films, theme park rides, and the like. The tape machines were loaned to Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, which was being filmed on an adjacent set. The tape used in the tape machines is a variety of decorative tape made by 3M. 3M only sold it in 4-inch widths, so it had to be slit by hand to 2-inch widths to fit in the tape machines. When filmed, they were astounded how gaudy it looked, and so to dampen its brightness, the prop crew wound the tape back and forth across the sander to dull its brilliance. One of those things that actually looked a lot better on film when we finished with it, Douglas Trumbull commented. Trumbull originally wanted to film this movie in show scan, a 60 frame per second widescreen process he developed. But the costs of retrofitting theaters to show it proved prohibitive. If the show scan version had been made, Each non-Brainstorm frame would have been printed twice to create a 30 frame per second normal film rate to complement the cropped non-widescreen shots. The intent was to create an experience similar to what the on-screen characters were viewing. Lillian's line to Alex, "Your hotshots Evans and Wetmore failed on that one year after year," is a reference to the film's consulting engineer, Evans Wetmore. When Michael first shows the machine to his son Chris, he calls it the Hat. However, in the script, final revised draft, dated 9/21/81, he called it a superconducting phased field neural discharge sensor array. We'll stick with the hat. And don't put a hat on the bed. Thank you. All right. In theaters, careful examination reveals that the taped scenes are just a bit wider on the screen and have more deeply saturated colors. In fact, it was subtle enough to make those scenes distinct from the real scenes. The film was intended for a July 1982 release date. To prepare for the film, Douglas Trumbull took most of the key cast and crew up to the Esalen Institute, an experimental research facility in Northern California known for its New Age classes and workshops. While there, according to Stitzel, no apparent first name, I think that was one of the writers, Trumbull wanted Aaron to study the concept of life after death, one of the themes at the center of Brainstorm, by taking a hallucinogenic drug that supposedly simulated death under the supervision of one of the Institute's doctors. However, because the drug was illegal, that plan was nixed. No shit. The group instead enrolled in what was called a rebirthing seminar that included... I'm just reading this, folks. According to Suzanne Finstead's 2001 book, Natasha, the biography of Natalie Wood, everyone lying on the floor listening to a tape using slow, rhythmic, deep breathing until their muscles contracted and they went through emotional states from hysterical laughter to sobbing, simulating life after death. Okay. The film was conceived as an introduction to Douglas Trumbull's show scan 60 frames per second, 70 millimeter film process. In movies, people often do flashbacks and point of view shots as a gauzy, mysterious, distant kind of image, Trumbull recalled it. I wanted to do just the opposite, which was to make the material of the mind even more real, high impact in reality. However, MGM backed out of plans to release the experimental picture in a new format. Trumbull instead shot the virtual reality sequences in 24 frames per second Super Panavision 70 with an aspect ratio of 2.2 by 1. The rest of the film was shot on a conventional 35 millimeter with an aspect ratio of approximately 1.7 to 1. Because of the immensely troubled production and disagreements with MGM, Douglas Trumbull opted never to direct a Hollywood film again. In 1983, he stated, "I have no interest in doing another Hollywood feature film. Absolutely none. The movie business is so totally screwed up that I just don't have the energy to invest 3 or 4 years in a feature film."
Wow.
Movie making is like waging war. It destroys your personal life too. The people who can survive the process of making films have largely given up their personal lives in order to do just that. Just because it's such a battle to make a movie, and in doing that, they've isolated themselves from the very audience that they're trying to reach. Sound familiar, folks?
Yeah.
Okay. There's more. According to Douglas Trumbull, MGM, which had financial troubles at the time, got cold feet about putting up the rest of the money to complete the film. MGM's problem was that insurance institution Lloyd's of London MGM's problem was that the insurance institution Lloyd's of London, when it took depositions from me and other people, realized that the film could be finished. Why should they pay an insurance claim for something that wasn't damaged goods?
When MGM refused to pay for the film to be completed, Lloyd's of London provided $2.75 million for Trumbull to complete principal photography and an additional $3.5 million towards post-production. Meanwhile, other studios showed interest in buying the film from MGM to release as their own production. MGM decided to allow Lloyd's of London to offer the film to any of the major studios in town, said Trumbull. Several of them made bids to MGM, and the studio suddenly realized that a lot of other people in this town were excited about Brainstorm and were ready to put up millions of dollars. MGM figured they'd look like jerks if they let it go, and it turned out to be a big success. So they finally decided to work out this deal where Lloyd's of London would put up the remaining money and become a profit participant. In 1973, screenwriter Bruce Joel Rubin was set to direct his script, then called the George Dunlap tape. He raised $400,000, secured filming locations in Indiana, including Indiana University, had props built, cast Lorinda Barrett as Karen, Woody Annie as Michael, Fred Holliday as Hal, and Jacqueline Brooks as Lillian, and assembled an FX team that included Jordan Belson, John Whitney Jr., and Scott Bartlett. Just as shooting was about to commence, the primary investor withdrew their funds and the entire production collapsed. So we almost got Brainstorm as an independent film 10 years earlier. Sadly, it didn't happen. Cast includes 3 Oscar winners, Christopher Walken, Cliff Robertson, and Louise Fletcher, and 1 Oscar nominee in Natalie Wood. When the film was shown in the UK, it was advertised as being in dynamic expanding frame, which meant that although much of the film was in the conventional 35mm format, for the subjective camera scenes of people using the helmet, the image would suddenly expand to a 70mm widescreen aspect ratio. The section of the demo with the vehicle flying off the cliff was directly inspired by the original IMAX History of Flight presentation at the opening of the Air National and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. in 1976. The original, a spoke wheel Model T, is driving across a grassy field. Then there is a shot looking down through the wheels at the grass as the camera, now surreptitiously mounted on a wheel plane, goes off a cliff over the ocean. As within this film, the members of the IMAX audiences leaned back in their seats in reaction. Natalie Wood hadn't worked in 2 years and had gained about 25 pounds in the interim. When she signed on to do the movie, she went on a crass diet to lose the weight before filming began, but started to gain it back from alcohol consumption. At around the 1 hour, 26-minute mark, the film that's seen on the television in the background is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as you said, Bill, starring Frederick March and Miriam Hopkins.
I just wasn't
You
sure.
called it. Yeah. The corporate board demo is seen to be taking place over an acoustic coupled modem using a then standard telephone handset. Such connections were limited to about 300 per second or less than 40 characters of text per second, which is a speed. Such a speed is barely adequate for a text-based 80 by 25 terminal screen without any graphics. A fax transmission at the lowest usable resolution over such a line would require many minutes for a single image. Lana Wood filled in for sister Natalie Wood in some of the shots to help finish the film after Natalie's untimely death. Several scenes involving water were cut from the film after Natalie Wood's shocking. In one scene, Woods and Christopher Walken's characters jump in the pool at their North Carolina home, and another, during the original reconciliation sequence, their characters went out on a pond in canoes. Okay. This next bit is a little long, and I don't know how much of this is BS or not. There's, as people know, a lot of conjecture surrounding Natalie Wood's death. It goes on to this day.
Yep.
And IMDb does not shy away from it. So buckle up. There are conflicting accounts as to whether Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood had an affair during filming. In the documentary, Natalie Wood wrote What Remains Behind, director Douglas Trumbull says there was a love scene between the two, a sex scene actually, and I found out in the shooting of the scene that there was almost no physical charisma between them at all. And so that made me believe in retrospect now that the suggestion that there was some sort of love triangle between Natalie and Christopher and RJ, which is what they call Rob Wagner, or something like that, whatever anyone would make of it is not true. I just think it's impossible. According to a 2009 interview with screenwriter Robert Stitzel for the Projection Booth podcast, quote, Trumbull was not a director, and I think a large part of that was because of the Walken-Wood affair that they were having on the set, and it was disruptive. I would hear stories where the AD would come to the trailer and say, you know, Mr. Walken, you're wanted on the set. And he'd be in there screwing Natalie, and they'd both be laughing. Tell Dougie we'll be out when we're out. Their affair really kind of superseded the movie when I look back at it, and it ultimately led to Wood's death indirectly. I knew about the affair. Everyone connected with the movie knew about the affair. I'm sure Wagner knew about it. Exactly what went on that boat would be anyone's guess, but the official version that we have, so far as I know, is not accurate. Something else went on there than what's been written so far. According to screenwriter Robert Stitzel, Walken and Wood were both drunk when they shot the scene that was ultimately used as the ending. The movie features Georgianne Walken, Christopher Walken's wife, in a minor role as Wendy Abramson. She did not accompany her husband on the infamous Thanksgiving boat trip to Catalina where Wood's life was taken, and no explanation has ever been given for her absence. John Foreman was listed as producer on the Daily Variety production chart for Brainstorm while this film was shooting, but when it was released, he was uncredited. Okay. More of the 70 millimeter stuff which gets repeated, so I'm going to bypass that. The synthesizer shown is a Yamaha EX1, which was a preset-based polyphonic electronic organ with advanced features and not a proper synthesizer. It was also available as the GX1 and the Electone GX707. It was available from 1973 through 1977 and sold for the enormous price of $60,000, which would be $304,000 today. So no, thank you. That's out of my price range. Okay. There's a little more here. Actress Natalie Wood came onto the project when producer John Foreman called and asked her to join the cast, playing for Walken's estranged wife. Wood was in the midst of a transitional phase in her career, having started out as a child star in Hollywood and later making a successful transition into adult roles. Wood would have been a movie star for over 30 years by the time Brainstorm came her way. One of the silver screen's great beauties, Wood was now over 4 years old and had been absent from movies for a few years, having taken time off to raise her 2 young daughters. She faced an uncertain future as to where her career would go now that she was more mature, but she still wanted to do quality work. She readily agreed to make Brainstorm, excited at the prospect of being part of a big-budget Hollywood movie again. Natalie's part as written, was ordinary, said Wood's husband at the time, Robert Wagner, in his 2008 memoir, Pieces of My Heart. But the picture sounded like it could be cutting edge, if only because of technology and the fact that it was fiction. It seemed a good idea. If Natalie Wood brought a touch of old Hollywood glamour to Brainstorm, the other stars of the film, Christopher Walken, Louise Fletcher, and Cliff Robertson, all brought serious acting chops and won Oscar each. Walken had won his Best Supporting Actor Oscar for work as a disturbed Vietnam veteran in The Deer Hunter, 1978. Fletcher had won her Best Actress Oscar for her unforgettable performance as Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975. And Robertson had won his Best Actor Oscar for his portrayal of a mentally challenged man who's turned into a genius in the 1968 film Charlie. While Trumbull had directed one feature film before, Silent Running, in 1972, he was best known as one of the world's top special effects wizards. Trumbull had made his indelible mark in Hollywood by creating memorable special effects for films such as 2001: A Space Odyssey in 1968, Close Encounters of the Third Kind in 1977, Blade Runner 1982. Trumbull had been looking for a chance to direct a second feature, and when he heard the concept of Brainstorm, he was intrigued. There was an original screenplay written by Bruce Rubin that needed to be boiled down, but had all the concepts that intrigued me as a film, said Trumbull in the 1983 interview with Film. I was trying to find a project dealt with the issue of perception, and I felt the script offered that opportunity. Okay, here's okay. I'm just going to go into some of this stuff. People believe me. Rumors of an affair between Natalie Wood and Christopher Walken surfaced among the cast and crew. Even Wood's husband, Robert Wagner, felt that something was up. She was more involved with the movie than she was with her family, and the thought occurred to me that Natalie was being emotionally unfaithful. I chose not to confront her with my feelings. In November, the cast and crew returned to Hollywood for one more month of filming at MGM to complete Brainstorm. The following Thanksgiving, Natalie Wood and Robert Wagner decided to spend a holiday weekend aboard their yacht, the Splendor, named after Wood's 1961 film Splendor in the Grass. They also invited Wood's co-star Christopher Walken along as their guest. On the night of November 28th, 1981, Natalie went missing from the yacht that was anchored off the coast of Catalina Island. The following morning, Wood's body was found floating in the water nearby, the victim of what was ultimately ruled an accidental drowning. Natalie Wood's death was a shocking tragedy that grabbed headlines for months and generated endless speculation from the media determined to make something sorted out of the accident. This was the film debut of Eric Lively. His half-brother, Jason, plays Chris in the film. The looping roller coaster shown in the film is the Loch Ness Monster Coaster from the Busch Gardens theme park in Williamsburg, Virginia. The shots of heaven were done by poking a hole in the seats in a piece of sheet steel, putting a quartz bulb behind it with a piece of very scratched plastic in front of it. Rivers of Angels were made with high-speed backlit footage of a dancer wearing a long costume which twirled about on two poles. Several more shots of hell were created but cut from the final print for pacing. One of these was termed Condo Hell, which featured many rapidly changing faces sifting slowly towards the viewer against an austere, high-tech looking background. Some of this can be seen for the film. Cancer Hell was the crew's term for the gory-looking shots of tormented souls. All right. And that is it for the trivia on IMDb Pro. The scrolls are closed.
The skills are outgrowths. Okay. Well, we hope you liked today's feature, though. Certainly one that uh, not too many people talk about or know about. Like I said, I've always enjoyed the film ever since I seen it. Yeah. I think next week we're gonna do a little 007. What do you guys think? I'm thinking.
I'm for it.
I'm thinking Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
Yes. With Mr. Sean Connery. Well, join us on Sunday for Western Cinema Presents, a comedy from 1993, Lightning Jack, starring the Crocodile Man, Paul Hogan, and
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuban Gooding Jr.
Mhm.
That's a very fun one. Gotta have laughs in the westerns. And there are quite a few. We've done a few, and we're going to get to a few more comedy westerns. I just have that and karaoke. Probably some karaoke on Saturday night. What you got going on there, Deleted?
All right. Well, later on tonight will be my weekend update, where I'm going to let everybody know what I'm up to for the next week or so. I will tell everybody now that I will be joining Troy Pacelli, Netter's Network and Aged Boomer, tomorrow night for Friday Night Last Call. And we are going to be discussing the final 2 episodes of the Amazon Prime series Outer Range.
Yeah, I saw that your last Sparkwood episode did really well.
Yeah,
Like really well.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes it pays to advertise, folks, and
yeah.
So did well, and
Congrats on that.
which I'm really happy about, because I do like more eyes on that show, and because we do work hard behind the scenes on it, and trying to find trivia about it and whatnot, and having the extra benefit of Troy and Nutter having met people who were involved with that show. Bringing confidence eye into it. Yeah, the show's been doing pretty well, and Tuesday's show in particular did even better. So I'm very happy about that, and thank you all to everyone who watched it, everyone who shared it out, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you.
That's cool.
And I would like to take a moment to thank the people who joined us here today.
in the
Yes,
chat,
absolutely.
including Connie Cleary, Josh Street, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, MCU, and Doctor Who. Emoji Queen Lady Mist, our friend from the UK Words and Pictures. Jane Zeal, Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank, FK8C 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Let's see, Suzanne was here. Ladrone. Putin's Cat. And of course, thanks again to Just Another Fella for subscribing to Bill's channel.
Yes, thank you. We're getting closer and closer to that 6K mark.
JPRPH1. And of course, Curtis Selby, Tired Midnight Blogger. Yeah, 14K. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
That was a. I noticed there was something of a jump last night, and then I woke up this morning and there was a bigger jump. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. I hope you have that one monetized. So you
yeah.
You should have that one monetized.
Yeah. I mean, folks, it's what we do here is a crapshoot. We are happy if like one or two people are watching. I mean, I know I am. So when you get big numbers like that for a video, or especially like this when you're doing a weekly show, you never know what's going to work. When we did the Cowboy Way, basically it's a random movie. We did that movie.
Yeah.
Hey, what the hell? I'd never seen it before. You hadn't seen it in a while, and you thought, what the hell? Let's put it on. Let's do it. And it was like,
Yeah.
And I'm really barely in that episode because that episode was basically just me watching that movie for the first time. So I didn't really say a whole lot. I was just kind of.
And I had to change my thumbnail to get it better showing on my side, on my end.
And that's the most watched video that's ever been on my channel ever. This kind of random
until last night, until Spark went to speak. I mean, man, make sure you monetize that, brother.
Indeed. So yeah, I mean, it's I guess people just like evil monsters. Yeah, because it's an episode that plays very much like a horror film, and an experimental one at that. So but there is kind of something of a big reveal. There's a character that shows up at the end of it. That you're not expecting to see. So and what happens to that particular character at the end of the episode leaves a lot of questions open. So it was definitely an interesting experience to watch. Bill's right. Well, Bill's right a lot. Note to self: talk about monsters.
Well, it's when you and I are both film and TV aficionados. We love the great films and great TV shows when we can find them, and to talk about them and to revisit past, because modern things aren't so well or doing so good,
Mhm.
it's nice to revisit the older ones. Yeah.
Indeed, and believe me, we definitely have some plans for some movies coming up that we want to do. There is one in particular that I really do want to do, and hopefully we will get to that. If not next week, then the week after.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
that's one that's kind of a little close to my heart. So when we get to
There's
that
one-
one, that'll be a
there's one that's been
fun
requested called Wild Geese. I have to find a copy
Wild
so we
Geese.
can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Ernest Borgnine is in that one.
Wild, Wild Geese is definitely one. The Lone Ranger film from the 80s. Only if I am allowed
Don't
to
remember that one. Don't remember that one.
The only good thing about that movie is Christopher Lloyd's the villain. And
he was a villain. It was a villain in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So
yeah, and for those Twin Peaks fans in the audience, Michael Horse, who plays Hawk, played Tonto in the 1980 Lone Ranger movie. So there is that. Wild Geese with Richard Burton, Roger Moore, and Richard Harris. Yeah.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. I promise.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely have some plans coming up for the upcoming weeks, and we're also coming up on Halloween.
Yeah.
Here before too long, and
we're gonna start off. We're gonna start at mid September and go all the way to the end of October.
Yeah, we are going to have fun with this one, folks. Trust me. Yeah. So buckle up. I'm not going anywhere. Bill's not going anywhere. We've got some really cool stuff coming up for you guys. Not just on this show, but also on the Western show as well. So stay tuned, because Bill I know has some plans. I've got some ideas. It's gonna be a fun one. Do it November 20th. It's a Wednesday. I have that day off since I'm back from London. I can take a photo from one of the filming sites.
Nice. We can go on an extra dose.
Let's make a note of that. Yeah.
Absolutely. My cat's coming to say that. Well, we appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, this wouldn't be so much fun. So I'm going to take my time now and to say my parting words. Always remember to be excellent to one another. Party on. And we can't wait to see you on the next one. Now over to you, deleted scenes.
All right. And as I always say, I would like to thank everyone once again for joining us here in the live chat and following along on Cosme. I'd like to thank everyone who watches the show on the delay. And as I say for my close, from HQ, our second home office in Arizona, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.